Hello, this is Troy Harper. Welcome to Harper Cigar Lounge today. This is my own private lounge for family and friends that my wife and my son put together for me last August. And here shortly, in a moment or so, I'll show you a video of the entryway and the cigar lounge itself. You may find that interesting to see what I've got down here. And I got to thank my wife and my son for setting that up for me for my birthday. They wanted to do this so my son and my family and friends could come over and do this in the wintertime when it gets very cold here. And we get a lot of blizzards, a lot of snow, a lot of very cold weather. And my wife and my son, Jacen, wanted a place for us to be able to all hang out and enjoy ourselves when we can't be outside. So I got to give them a hats off and thank you for doing that for me. It means the world to me, and I would like you guys to see what this area looks like. I've added a lot of memorabilia to it, a lot of music memorabilia through the entryway and then through down here. And of course, there's cigar memorabilia as well. So anyway, but I just want to tell you all thank you for joining me today. I've been looking forward to doing my second episode with you guys. I have been so anxious to get down here to do another video, and I appreciate all of you so far that have been messaging me and subscribing to this channel and leaving your comments and your likes. That means the world to me. And I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this just out of my own passion for cigars. I've grown to really love cigars over the past year. I've gone very deep into learning the cigar trade, learning cigars, and just wanting to get myself deep into the whole cigar business and learn as much as I can. I've actually even brought cigars into my grocery store that I manage here in town, here in Kimball, Nebraska. And I've got about 26 different cigars. I've got cutters, lighters, Boveda packs. I've got travel humidors. I've got the whole works pretty much for people that want it. And it's been doing very well. So, but this past year, I've been smoking cigars regularly. Through my life, I've smoked off and on and everything. But my wife and my son, after me coming home from a very stressful day last year, a stressful week, I should say, I went out and had to find a cigar, which all I could find here in town was some Swisher Sweets, which I used to smoke throughout my life. And but getting into the premium cigars, that happened well over about a year ago or so. So, and it's been an adventure that I've really have enjoyed, and I continue to want to learn and keep trying different cigars and just keep doing what I can to learn the business as well. So, but anyway, today I'm going to be reviewing the Aging Room Cointreau from Nicaragua. And this cigar, it was back in 2019. It was rated 96, so it was the number one cigar for 2019. And it's this cigar. It's a torpedo, and it's a 6x52 Nicaraguan cigar. And it measures it's 6x52. So, but we'll be again doing this cigar today and reviewing it. And so here I'll be lighting and cutting it and doing the whole works with this thing. So, and I'll tell you what I think and what it tastes like. And I want to dedicate this segment of my show to my brother Grant back in Sheridan, Wyoming. I bought this cigar last year, and he tried it, and he loved it. And I'm hoping he'll get back soon to have another one of these with me. So, so anyway, but let's get started on this, and then we'll just kind of go with the flow of things and see what all we need to discuss today. I do plan on discussing a little bit of some music stuff and just whatever else comes to mind. But um, I'm doing this video not out of the money, and I'm not being sponsored by anybody. Um, I'm doing this out of my own passion, and it's cigars of something besides music and my family, of course. I've really fell in love with. So, but I smoke all kinds of different cigars, and I experiment with all kinds of different cigars. And but probably my favorites so far are Maduros. So far, that's probably my favorite cigars to smoke. Churchills usually. When I smoke, I like to have a couple hours just to enjoy, watch music videos or movies, um, or just listen to music, listen to podcasts, whatever it is. I like to have a couple hours to sit back and enjoy and just escape from work and just the world's problems, and to be able to just enjoy it and relax and not have to rush smoking it. So. Of course, if there's days where I don't have enough time to smoke a Churchill, I'll maybe smoke some of my Sweet Jane cigarellos, or just smoke a smaller cigar. If I don't have enough time to be able to relax for a real long time. So, but for the most part, it's Churchills in Maduro form that I really like. So, but anyway, I'll go ahead and open this up, and we'll start um, cutting this and lighting it, and I'll kind of show you how I cut my cigars and how I light them. So I kind of go through the whole ritual of doing that, um, and I'll kind of show you my different cutters. I got a guillotine cutter that I just picked up from Perdomo Cigars, and I got this other guillotine cutter. First of all, this first one, the back of it, it's got this covering on it, so you can't go too deep on your cigars when you cut them. Unfortunately, this one's not going to work with this torpedo because I got it cut down to here. So today I'll be using this other guillotine cutter, which opens all the way up, so I can put it all the way through. But today I'll be using this cutter here. So, but anyway, get the end moistened just a little bit so it don't crack on me here. Okay, so I want to cut it about right there. If I go any smaller than that, it's going to be hard. It's going to end up being a really tight draw because there won't be very much of an opening. So maybe go about right. Let's see here. About right there, if you can see that. Okay, so now I've got it cut. See what the cold draw tastes like here. Kind of an oaky chocolate, kind of a cold draw to it. Okay. And then I'll kind of show you my lighters here. I got a single torch flame lighter, and that's what I'm going to use for toasting this. And when I toast my cigars, I kind of start in the middle, work my way outward, get it all the way around, make sure it's getting all lit. If you don't get it all lit all the way through and all around the foot of this, you'll have an uneven burn. So you got to get it all toasted really good there. Okay. Right from the start, I'm getting a nice, probably a black coffee, peppery kind of a taste to it. But it's more of a mild, I would say more, almost probably more medium strength than mild, I would say on this. And I would probably recommend this for a beginner. And this is more of a Maduro type of cigar. It's got a real nice dark, silky, smooth, oily kind of a wrapper. Very smooth to the touch, very silky feeling. Really like the way this feels in my mouth as well. Um, just got a good. It doesn't feel rough or anything. It's just very smooth. Got a very smooth wrap around it. So, but what I meant to tell you also, this is called the cap that you cut off on the end, just in case. Maybe if you're a beginner with smoking cigars and you're tuning into this. Um, this is the cap that you always cut off on the end, and this would be considered the foot that you light. So, um, and so anyway, I'm glad you guys are tuning in today again, and got my coffee with me today, and I just got this coffee mug from Perdomo Cigars. It's got a cigar rest on it, as you can see there, if I choose to do that. Also, I was going to show you this other lighter I've got. This is a torch flame lighter, and this is great for outside. If it's windy, you can still light your cigars outside if it's windy out, and it won't blow out on you. The single flame that I used to cut my cigar today, or to light my cigar today, this is a single flame torch. You can see. And that's good for inside. It doesn't over toast your cigar if you're worried about that. But again, here's the torch. I'll show you that up close. You can see there's quite a big difference there. This one's got 3 flames that come out of it, where the other one is just 1. So anyway, and then also got a little rum here today. And this glass that I got here also will hold my cigars on it if I want to do that. So this was a Christmas gift from my wife. So thank you, hon. I'm still getting a lot of like real dark chocolate taste notes with this. A little pepper as well. I can definitely see why this was rated number 1. It's burning really evenly, as you can see so far. And the wrapper is just really beautiful. Um, the cigar band, really nice as well. So anyway, but this is a really enjoyable cigar so far. And I bought a 5-pack of these after I tried this a year ago or so, um, and I really liked it at the time. And me and my brother shared it while he was down here. He had never had a premium cigar before. He's been a cigarette smoker, which he quit quite a while back, and he was a little hesitant to try it at first because he's trying to make sure he doesn't fall back into old habits. But he really enjoyed this, and so I bought a 5-pack through. I bought it through. Gosh, I'll think of it here in a second. Gosh darn, I'll think of it here in a minute where I bought this from. Cigar store, or not cigar store. Yeah, cigar store is where I bought this. And so, I'm sorry, cigar place. I apologize, cigar place. My my grocery store that I manage, our supply of cigars that we order through Cigar Store, and it's a really good place to buy cigars too. They've got everything that you can think of. They've got humidors, desktop or stand-up humidors for your cigar lounge, or they've got everything. They've got 5 packs. They've got sample packs. You can buy certain cigars, like 40 of them in a sample pack. Very reasonable prices. Give you great discounts, and shipping's pretty reasonable actually when you buy boxes and of cigars and everything. So Cigar Store is a good place to go if you're looking for a good site to find great deals if you're a retailer. And I suppose even if you're just buying them for yourself at home, that's good pricing. But the more you buy, the better discounts you get. So it works out really good for us because we buy, I buy quite a bit at once, and so I get really good discounts. That way I can, retail my cigars out much cheaper as well at my grocery store. So, and then, like I said, Cigar Place is a really good site to go to as well. They got free shipping on the majority of everything. They got a lot of 5 packs, 10 packs, boxes, single cigars, and they've got lighters and cutters, and they've got Boveda packs as well, and humidors. They've got the whole works as well. So those two sites are great if you're looking to find a good site. So to start out your collection if you're just starting out. So if you've been smoking cigars for a while, I'm sure you've maybe found some other sites that are really good. And if you have, share them with me. I'd like to know, where you're getting your supply at. So let me know, definitely. So, but yeah, again, thanks for tuning in today. Again, I'm really enjoying hanging out with you guys today, and I'm really glad to do my second show. God, I've been wanting to do something like this for so many years. I used to do music, and I had some of my own CDs out, and we used to go out and do some concerts. And a gal that I dated at the time would put live videos that she had recorded at our shows up on YouTube. So she was the one that did all that. And right now, my son Jacen, he's helping me get this stuff up on YouTube, and he's the editor and producer of my videos. So Jacen Ramirez is his name. So anyway, so I want to thank him for what he's done for me, and he's been a big part of the Cigar Lounge being started as well. And he helped get the equipment so I could do these videos appropriately and more professionally, but just so they look the best for you as the audience. I do want my settings to look very intimate. The purpose of my videos is to hang out with you all out there that need someone to hang out with. Maybe maybe you're alone at home and you're just looking for someone to hang out with, and I just want to be that for you, someone that you can hang out with and have great conversation with. And message me, let me know who you are, let me know where you're from, let me know what you do for work, what your hobbies, how long you've been smoking cigars, or other hobbies you've got. I don't care what it is. I want to hear from you. I want to know who you are and what you do, and just tell me a little bit about yourself so I can get to know you as well. And I'll message you back definitely and keep in touch with you. So. But again, thank you to all of you that are tuning into this and watching this, and I hope my audience will grow over time. I'm not being sponsored by anybody. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm just doing this out of my own passion for this hobby of mine. Smoking cigars and learning, and I hope we can all learn together about certain cigars. And I want to know any tips or anything that you know about cigars that maybe you can teach me as well. So I've been studying for a year now, like I said, so I'm a fairly new cigar smoker myself. I have smoked Swisher Sweets throughout my life, but I mean, anyone can smoke a Swisher Sweet or any kind of, you know, convenience store cigar or C-store cigar, whatever you want to call them. There's nothing to that. But learning about premium cigars, there's definitely a lot to learn about it. You know, when it comes to humidity levels in your humidors and how to cut them, how to light them appropriately. Um, Getting to know all the different types of cigars. I mean, my gosh, I can't believe how many different sizes of cigars there are and how many different, flavors there are that are throughout these cigars. I mean, you get sweet, you get pepper, you get vanilla, you get honey, oak, cherry. I mean, it's just amazing all the flavors that come through cigars. I mean, even coffee and coffee beans, chocolate, cinnamon. It's just amazing the list that goes on with all the taste notes you get from cigars, and it's all how they're made and you know the areas that the cigar leaves come from. I mean, there's all kinds of different areas out there: Nicaragua and Honduras, Mexico, even China, um, and this, God, I mean, there's so many areas where they grow tobacco, and it makes you appreciate it more when you get to really know how it all works, because it takes, a lot of cigars take 6 years to go through the whole process of making them, and it makes you appreciate it more. Cigarettes and stuff like that, machine made, cigars and cigarettes. It's good for quick smokes, but to be able to sit down for a couple hours or even maybe an hour, 2 hours, maybe more, to sit there and think about your life and to be able to meditate and just think about all the good things in your life while you're smoking one of these, and then to just think about where these come from and the people that take the time to roll them and make them, and I mean, from the beginning of them making sure the soil's the right way, and how they start growing, the plants, and how they got to watch over the plants and what they got to do with them to treat them and make sure they stay, the way they need to, so they can continue to grow and be what they need to be, so us, later can enjoy them the way we want to. And then you got people that roll them and put them together, and they age them, and some are aged in whiskey barrels, and some are, I mean, aged for a long time. It's just amazing to me. And then when you're smoking them, you kind of feel like you're in those areas where they come from. You feel like you're kind of not time traveling, but you're kind of traveling to these different areas, and you kind of experiencing those countries that make this stuff. But it's pure tobacco. There's no chemicals in these cigars. The premium cigars, no chemicals, no stuff in it that that's going to cause you a lot of health problems. And cigarette smokers and people that chew and I'm not sure about the vaping yet. But I've read reviews where the health risks are very high with those kinds of things you smoke. And doing my studies on cigars, there's like next to nothing when it comes to, it's like a 0.5% of any kind of cancers that have been even linked to smoking premium cigars. So that wins me over right there, because I want to live a long time. I want to be around for my family for a long time, and you know I enjoy this. I don't want to cause myself to have a lot of health problems and to not be around very long. So anyway, so seeing those facts, and it just I'm glad that this is what I'm into and not anything else, I guess. So, but I smoke a cigar. There's a lot of weeks where I can't get in very many, just because of my work. I put in a lot of long hours with my career. I'm not gonna say it's my job, because it's more to me than just a job. I managing a grocery store, I get to deal with a lot of people, serve people's needs, and it's been a passion of mine. Any work I've ever done throughout my life has always been about serving others, and so that's what I really enjoy about the grocery business. Give this another light. I've been talking too much. Obviously, I'm letting it. It's kind of started burning out on me here. So, but the burn has been great on it, though. Actually, I mean, it's not burning unevenly or anything. It's burning really perfectly, actually. There we go. Got it back to where it needs to be again. One thing about cigars, if you don't puff on it, I don't suggest puffing on it constantly, but if you go longer, than a minute maybe of not puffing on one of these, or sometimes they'll kind of burn out on you. You got to relight them again. So I suggest every about 40 seconds, at the most, you know, to puff on it to keep it burning. So any longer than that, sometimes they will burn out on you. My last review last week was the Perdomo Habano Bourbon Sun Grown 6x60 Toro, and made by Perdomo, of course. And it was aged in whiskey barrels for I think for 6 months, I believe. And the whole cigar, is one of those cigars where it takes like 6 years to make it. But I did that review last week, and that cigar, no matter how much I talked and how much I did puff on it, it still stayed lit, burned evenly. Never had to touch it up or relight it. It was an amazing cigar as well. And so I do recommend definitely the Perdomo Habano Sun Grown uh, Toro 6x60 cigar, if you ever find that. And I can't say enough about Perdomo cigars. They're really great cigars. And I'm a huge fan of these aging room Quattro cigars as well. So, like I said, I have smoked this once about a year ago, but I wanted to share this with you guys because it's such a great cigar as well. Fairly smooth. It's not harsh tasting. It's got a great taste, and it burns. It's burning very well, actually, and the construction on this thing is great. The aroma is really good. I get a nice kind of a chocolate vanilla out as well. So there are some vanilla tastes in this as well. I meant to mention to you. Just a hint of it. More chocolate, espresso beans type of a taste more than anything. So I want you guys to say hi to my little cigar store Indian bobblehead. My brother bought that for me for Christmas. I've always wanted a cigar store Indian, and of course, to find them, they're very expensive. And of course, this worked out perfect for my cigar lounge down here. So, but anyway, let me pause for a moment, and I'll get right back to you on this cigar. But I want you to see a little short video that I took of the entryway coming down and the cigar lounge itself. Um, it's just a little under 2 minutes for this video, and but I want you to see what was created, down here. And again, this cigar lounge, it's not for the public, it's just for my family and friends. And but it sure has been enjoyable down here, and I appreciate my wife and my son Jacen for setting this up. Of course, in the beginning, they had just put 2 chairs down here, a little end table in between, and some dividers like what you see behind me here. And they had these little cigar signs put up, and they're kind of throughout the store. There's there's some over here. There's one right there, and then of course I got my Kiss tapestry up, and I've got those kinds of things throughout my cigar lounge. It's more of a heavy metal cigar lounge, if you want to call it that. And of course, I got my Dallas Cowboys stuff out throughout the, as well. And I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm very disappointed they lost in the playoffs again. I was really hoping they would have went all the way this year. But hopefully next year again. I've been waiting since '95 for them to make it back to a Super Bowl. But last year and this year were the first year since '93 that they won road games, during the playoffs. So they're kind of making a comeback, and I hope they'll continue to grow stronger and stronger so I can finally see them get back to a Super Bowl again. But anyway, I will be right back with you guys. Enjoy the short video of the entryway down into the cigar lounge in our house. Okay, I'm back. And again, this is the aging room. Sorry, Quattro Toro or Torpedo. And again, it's a 6x52 cigar. And definitely getting, some pepper and chocolate still. Maybe a little bit of cinnamon now. Maybe just a touch of cinnamon, but more chocolate still, and just a little pepper on it. Maybe just a little vanilla as well. I'm kind of getting some taste notes on. But anyway, here's to you guys. And I think I'll have a little taste of rum as well here. Anyway, but yeah, coffee and rum are probably the two things I enjoy the most with my cigars. Um, I do like, if you've ever had Stella, I like the little cans of Stella, more of the black or, you know, maybe the cherry or blueberry flavored ones. Those are good little good things to drink with your cigars. They pair very nicely as well. But coffee and rum are probably my two favorite things. I had a Shiner beer last night with a cigar, um, and it was a Perdomo. Well, it was actually the one I reviewed last week. It was the Perdomo Sun-Grown cigar that I had last night, and I paired that um, with a can of Stella, or I'm sorry, a Shiner. I apologize. And it was a trail mix flavored beer that I just got at my store, and it paired very nicely. It kind of had some of those taste notes like some of my cigars have. So, but yeah, that's another thing. And some cigars I get kind of a raisin taste to them as well, kind of, nuts. And that's kind of what this cigar, um, or this Shiner beer I had is what it reminded me of was my cigars. It had a lot of those taste notes. It also had some chocolate in the Shiner. Um, Had some chocolate taste notes as well. So I thought it was very interesting beer, and it really did remind me of the taste notes I get with my cigars. So, but anyway, but I hope you're enjoying yourself so far, hanging out with me today. I'm sure glad to be here with you guys today. I'm a people person. I really like talking to people, and I used to be in the video music business when I was younger, and so I've always had a passion for wanting to do something with the video field. And so this has given me a chance to do that. I used to, back in the early 90s, used to work for a TV station. It was called KSTF out of Scottsbluff, Nebraska. And I did cameras and helped with lights and sound. And used to live back in Miami Beach, Florida, back in 89 to almost 91. Worked down there with concert production and did video. Worked with America's Most Wanted once. We did a movie called Young Runaways that we sold to PBS at the time. Me and a group of other guys that I went to school with, and it did very well on PBS. And we had actually went out and interviewed homeless people. They were young adults, teenagers as well, and we interviewed all these people, and we did a documentary, kind of a documentary type movie about it, and we ended up selling it to PBS. Um, we didn't make very much money on it, but we wanted to get that movie out there for people to see and everything. So I don't know where that movie would be now, if it's out there anywhere. If you guys have seen it, let me know. Let me know if you've seen that movie for some reason. I'd like to know if you have or not. So, but anyway, so and then, and I can't remember what episode the America's Most Wanted was. It was about a guy that worked in a circus, and he had a past of doing some murdering, and he was hiding out with the circus that traveled, of course, and of course they finally found out who he was and they got him. But so that movie at the time was about this guy that was in the circus, and I don't know what you call those guys, but he was the one that was in charge of directing the circus and introducing everybody that came out and did their acts, and so during this time of doing this, um, they had actual like tigers and stuff that they had used for the show, and this took place in a club that I worked at called Club Deco back in South Miami Beach, Florida at the time. So they had used our club for this, and I was going to school at a place called a music school, trade school called Career Institutes of America, and they had called us. They did a casting call and asked if we would come and volunteer to help get this movie or this show put together for TV. So I got hired to do the cameras, and so it was great experiences, definitely. And I had also helped work on some music videos, did video for a group down there called, gosh, I can't remember, but they were all dressed up like clowns. It was very bizarre band. It was called Chameleon Circus was the name of that group. So if you've ever heard of them or seen them, or let me know as well if you've ever heard of them or if you've seen anything with them. They didn't make it for very long, as far as I know. So, but that was a very bizarre band to work with, and but did some really neat video stuff for him, and so it was a good experience for me, definitely. So anyway, so I've always dabbled, with certain things out in my life dealing with video and music, but this is probably the first time that I've gotten to actually do something on a regular basis with video. And what's better than this, getting to do my own show down in my cigar lounge and be able to hang out with you guys and smoke cigars and relax and just have a good time. And I hope you're having a good time out there. And please, like I said, comment. You know, put a like on my video, please, and share your feedback with me. I want to know what I'm doing good with, what I could work on more, what you'd like to see more of, maybe what you don't want to see, anything, certain things of, whatever it is, I want to know. So, but anyway, but again, thank you for tuning into this. This is my second episode of Harper Cigar Lounge, and again, thank you, and I appreciate your support. But I don't know, one thing I want to discuss uh, in these times of us hanging out together. I'm a huge music person, and a big fan of music. And let me know who you like to listen to and who you follow. And if you've been involved in the music business or anything with TV or music, let me know that as well. I, want to know all those things about you. Um, but this last summer was probably the first summer or first time I got to go see concerts on a regular basis. And of course, because of COVID, all that got stopped for a while. Tours were being canceled, everything was being canceled, and there'd be bands that would start shows up, or had concerts planned, tours planned, but then they'd have to cancel them again because of things starting up again, and it was very disappointing because I was so many shows I was supposed to be able to go see and didn't get to do it. And when I was younger, I got to work with Striper. That's one of my favorite bands. Not only because I worked with them, but I was a fan before that as well. So getting to work with them back in the 90s, early 90s, was a blessing and such a dream come true to work with my heroes. And we've kept in touch off and on over the years still. I keep in touch with Michael Sweet and Robert Sweet, their mother, Janice, more than anything. Those guys are on tour constantly, so they don't get a chance to really keep in touch with me very much, like I'd like to have them do. But anyway, but I hope to see them soon. Usually, whenever I get to go see them, I get to hang out with them for quite a while and be around them, and they're always just great guys to be around. So I hope I get to see you guys soon again. But I was supposed to see them a couple years ago in Denver, Colorado, and they had to cancel that show, and just never got to, haven't been able to see them because they haven't been in this area since. So I'm hoping to finally get to see them again. So, but anyway, hi guys. If you ever find this video, hello to you. Miss you guys and hope to see you guys again sometime. And Janice, Janice Sweet, thank you for keeping in touch with me the way you do. Glad I can do the same back to you as well. And I need to contact you again, definitely. So I want to tell you thank you again for the autograph photo you sent me and the drumsticks of Robert that I got from you a while back. I got them in my office and at work, and I'm very proud of those things. So, and just, I got a lot of memorabilia from Striper, but it's always nice to have something else from them. I don't know. I do a lot of collecting, but a lot of Kiss memorabilia. Kiss is my other favorite band. Huge Motley Crue fan as well, but Kiss and Striper are the two bands I really follow the most. And of course, I love so many bands out there, and there's so many people that have passed away and died, and gosh, they're missed. And the recent passing of Jeff Beck was hard to see that as well. Such a legend, But gosh, I'm a huge fan of Dio, and he passed way back, back in May of 2010. Gosh, so his anniversary of his death is coming up soon. But he's missed. I'm actually watching him over here on YouTube right now. Um, got one of his concerts going from 1987 back in Philadelphia. Uh, so I think it was the Dream Evil tour, if I remember right, that tour was from. So I've got that on my TV in the background here, which you can't see it, of course, but and can't hear it. I turned down the volume on it so I'm not getting in trouble for infringement of copyright. Having music in my video that I don't own or write, so I went ahead and turn the volume down. So anyway, but I miss Ronnie James Dio a lot, and I don't know, I don't know if you guys know, but he started this, uh, the devil horns. But his grandmother, and he's Italian. He comes from an Italian family. His grandmother used to do this, and she was very religious, I guess. But this was called the I forget what she called it. Gosh, I'll have to think what she called this, but evil eyes or something like that. When she did that, it was supposed to ward away the devil, and so that's where that comes from. If you ever watch his concerts, he's always going like this to the audience, and it's to ward away evil is where that started. And actually, I found out that Dio in Italian means God. His grandmother at the time when he was growing up, he was involved in Catholic school, and so obviously they come from a Catholic background. But he sang all throughout his life, and I guess she looked at him as being almost godlike. So just because of who he was and the way he was with everybody around him, and he was a really nice, great guy, and I sure wish I could have met him, but just I know he was a great guy and treated everybody good around him, and so his grandmother had a lot of love for him, and so. But I don't know if you guys know much about where he started, but kind of doing some studies. He was his first, and I'm not sure how old he would have been, but the first thing he was involved with that he sang with was called the Vegas Kings, and that was in 1957, and it was more like doo-wop type music. Then he got away from that and started another band up called Ronnie and the Red Caps, and that was in 1960. And then went from there to Ronnie Dio and the Prophets is what he renamed it, and got new people, involved that sang with him, and that was 1967. Um, and then went on to kind of get more into the rock side of things and started a band called Electric Elves, which then turned into Elf. So that was 1968 to 72 that he was with the Electric Elves. And then Elf was from 72 to 75, and that wasn't very successful. Then he was discovered by um, uh, Rainbow, and so he ended up becoming the singer for Rainbow from 75 to 79. And so went on from there to be in Black Sabbath after Ozzy was fired. And so Dio was involved with Black Sabbath from 79 to 81. And then they had a reunion in 92 and did the Humanizer album. So the albums he was involved with in the beginning was, of course, Heaven and Hell, and then the Mob Rules. And so, but no, I was going to say, Richie Blackmore was, the main guy in Rainbow that was their lead guitarist and everything, founder of Rainbow. And he was with Deep Purple, I believe. But so he's the one that discovered Ronnie, And so if it wasn't for him being in Rainbow, he would have probably went on to being in Black Sabbath probably, and had success with that, of course. And that success led on to um, Black Sabbath, and then doing his solo career. And so he did all of his solo stuff from '82 to 2010, and then of course then he him and Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler and uh, Vinny Appice, they all got back together later and did Heaven and Hell, because the Black Sabbath name was, of course, being used because Ozzy and those guys, uh, Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler and Vinny Appice, they were also doing Black Sabbath. So with Ozzy, or I'm sorry, well, it wasn't Vinny Appice with Ozzy. I apologize. It was, of course, Geezer or Bill Ward, of course, at the time that was playing drums again for him. So, of course, they couldn't use the Black Sabbath name, so they had to use Heaven and Hell. You couldn't have two Black Sabbath bands going out there at the same time. So, of course, they had to call it Heaven and Hell a Dio. And so they had done the Heaven and Hell album in 2005, 2006, and then they toured and stayed together for 2006 to 2010, and then of course because of Ronnie James Dio passing away, that's why Heaven and Hell ended up stopping. But then Black Sabbath went ahead and continued on off and on, and I wish I could have gotten to see them, but I didn't. Never did get to go see him, but I did get to see Ozzy Osbourne. Um, I think it was 2017 that I got to see him. And so that was great to see Ozzy, and I hope his health continues to improve. I know he wants to get back out and tour and do some solo stuff again. I hope he'll get to. I really do. But he's really up there in age now, and I don't know if he'll ever get back to being his old self again, where he can, tour the way he wants and sing the way he wants. So I hope so. I'd sure like to be able to see him again. I'd sure like my brother to be able to see him. So, anyway, my brother back in Sheridan this last summer, um, or I'm sorry, gosh, yeah, this last summer it was. I'm sorry. Got to go take him to Iron Maiden over in Denver, Colorado, and he was blown away by that show. Really loved it. Always wanted to see him, so we finally got to see Iron Maiden, and they're so legendary as well. Um, so I'm glad he got to see them. I went ahead and ashed my cigar. It was getting pretty long. It's got really good ash on it so far, but I had to ash it because I'm being inside. I really don't want my ashes to fall on the floor. I do have a cement floor down here, but I got a really nice rug underneath me that my wife bought for me as well, and I don't want to burn a hole in my carpet. So, but so anyway, I got to take him to Iron Man. He really enjoyed that. Um, I got to go see Judas Priest again this last summer, and Queensryche opened up for him, and they were terrific. They were awesome. Uh, they've had a different singer for a while, and his name is Todd Latour, and he's been with Queensryche since 2012. And he, I mean, he sounded a lot like Geoff Tate in a lot of ways, or Jeff Tate. Sounded a lot like him. A little more harder edged with his voice and his the way he is on stage, but he, for the sing the old Queensryche songs, they couldn't have a better singer than Tyler Latour. And of course, still um, on lead guitar they got Michael Wilton, and he's one of the co-founding members. He's been with Queensryche since '82. And then they got Parker Lundgren, and he's a guitarist as well. He's been with them since 2009. And then Eddie Jackson, bass. and he still sounds great as well. And he's one of the co-founding members as well. He's been with them since '82. And then Scott Rickenfield on drums, and he's been with them since '82. Um, I can't remember the name of the drummer that was with Queensryche this last summer that I saw with him. I can't remember his name, but he was a great drummer. But I guess Scott's back with them again. I guess from what I read, I guess he's back with them. So I hope to see Queensryche again, maybe this upcoming summer. They're going to be touring with Marty Friedman this summer, and he's, if you know who Marty Friedman is, he was the lead guitarist for Megadeth for quite a few years, um, and so I'd like to see him as well. I'm a pretty big Megadeth fan, Metallica fan, and so I love Anthrax and I love Slayer. I love those guys. So I'm a big fan of that kind of music as well. So I'd love to see Marty Friedman. I'd really like to see him. And then he's going to be touring as well um, out there. He's going to be doing some of his own tours, and he's going to have a band called Trauma opening it for them. And I guess they're a killer band as well. Pretty good heavy metal band. I got to do more studying up on them. I'm not sure where they're from, but I heard that they're really good. So I hope I'll get to see them as well. So anyway, with the cigar, it's really good, but it does need a relight once in a while. This is my second time having to relight it, which is not a big deal. It's part of the fun, and I don't mind it. And I don't get too many cigars that I have to relight, but it does happen. It doesn't ruin the experience for me, and it shouldn't for you as well if you ever have to. You know, um, it's just part of the experience, I guess. But so far, the cigar still has a nice even burn and great construction still, and still tasting really good. Still getting a lot of the chocolate taste and a little pepper, a little bit of cinnamon, vanilla maybe in there. Some oakiness type flavors, but really enjoying the cigar. And one thing you got to be careful with, some people like to take the bands off, and I suggest really, and I've fell into the habit of taking my bands off too soon, and I've been really working on that lately. But if you take the band off before you smoke it or smoke it too soon, um, because of how tight these bands are, um, if you pull them off before your cigarette's warm, it will pull part of the wrapper off with it. And then before you know it, you've got your cigar falling apart on you, cracking, wrapper unravels, and it does not make your cigar smoking experience very good. So, and it's a waste of your cigar too. With your hard-earned money and what you pay for cigars, you don't want to ruin it. So I'm now waiting until I get close to the band, and then I'll pull the band off very carefully still. But they use pectin to seal these bands on here. It's kind of a glue type substance, and when the cigar gets warmed, it will kind of melt that pectin, I guess, a little bit to where it's really easy to pull the wrapper off. So, but so far it's taken. Almost an hour into this cigar now, and I got a little ways to go. Once I take the band off, I'll still have quite a bit of smoking to do with this. But yeah, I'll wait just a little bit longer. But so far through the first third, and just really good tasting so far, and got a great even burn. Um, Still tastes great, and I'm really enjoying the cigar. I really am. I think you will too if you pick these up. But again, if you go to Cigar Place, you can find 5 packs of these for, gosh, I think it was around $30 for 5 of them or so that I paid, free shipping. So definitely a good site to go to. So, and I'm kind of drinking some. Um, it's Starbucks peppermint flavored coffee is what I'm drinking right now, and I got a little bit of some peppermint creamer in it. I can't get past the holidays yet. I love Christmas and I love the holidays, and I'm still living it, I guess. Still drinking my peppermint coffee. So, but it tastes pretty good. It tastes pretty good, the cigar, the coffee I'm drinking. And of course, this rum that I'm drinking, let me find my bottle here. I'm drinking Captain Morgan Private Label rum. It's really good rum. I'm a huge rum person, so I love rum with my cigars as well. So, again, cheers to you guys. Ah, man, that's good. And I'm not a drinker really. I really don't drink at all, to be honest with you. But I do like to have, either coffee or a little bit of rum or Stella wine with my cigars. Just a little bit. Um, the tastes really pair together. Taste of certain things that you drink with your cigars can really kind of enhance the taste of your cigars as well. So really good, really good. I'm going to set my cigar on my coffee mug. I want to show you this nice new ashtray that I got from Perdomo Cigars as well. And I got a little bit of ash in there, but just really pretty ashtray. Right now on Perdomo Cigars, all their stuff is half off right now. And so, of course, I picked up a new coffee mug with the cigar rest on it that I got right here, and you can see the rest on there. I picked up the ashtray, picked up uh, their lighter that I really love so far, and picked up this really nice cutter. And on the other side, it's got their logo in there as well, and it's one of those cutters that are just for regular cigars, not the torpedoes, but just for a regular cigar. That way you don't cut too deep. When you cut your cigars, on the cap, you only want to cut enough off. I usually do about a dime's width, just enough to get some good airflow through there. And when you do the cold draw before you light it, do a cold draw. You'll get some different taste notes with that as well. But with that, you'll know if you're going to get more of a looser draw or if you're going to get a tighter draw. If you cut off your cap and maybe you didn't cut enough and it's really tight, you get a really tight draw through that, go ahead and you can cut just a little more off of it to get a little bit more of a better draw. But you really want to be careful not to cut too deep into your cigars on the cap, because if you cut too deep in, you'll cut the cap completely off, and your cigar will start unraveling on you while you're smoking it. So you don't want that to happen. So there's definitely some techniques that you really want to get down, so you can cut your cigars appropriately and have them stay together the way they need to, so you have a good smoking experience. And the way you light it, you really want to, light it, the right way. And again, when you light, I suggest the single torch when you're toasting it. If you're inside, if you're outside, you'll have to probably use a torch lighter because there may be some wind. But the torch lighter, you don't want to hold the flame too close because you will burn. You'll burn the foot and around it too much, and you could get some harsh taste from ash through your cigar as well if you don't toast it correctly. But get on YouTube, um, there's books you can buy. There's all kinds of videos to watch, and people out there that have been in the industry for a long time, they will, show you the techniques, and that's how I learned. I learned by watching videos and reading, and I also got. Let me grab it. Um, I read Cigar Aficionado. Let me get that. Hold on a second. Let me put my cigar down. But anyway, so this is a great magazine to read. It's got a lot of great stuff about cigars, a lot of great articles, a lot of cigar reviews in this as well. Let me show you. Yeah, I mean, there's events they advertise, and they show you all the different cigar companies out there. And this is J.C. Newman, which I think very highly of, and I love the Julius Caesar cigars, and I'll see what else do I have of theirs. The Brick House is a really good cigar of theirs. Um, but when you go through those, they've got reviews, and oops, there we go. They got reviews, and they talk about the cigars a little bit out there, so it kind of gives you an idea what they're about, what they taste like, um, where they come from. So there's a lot of great stuff in these magazines. Um, Another good magazine that you can pick up is Cigar Snob, and then I haven't got a hold of them yet, but Cigar Journal is another really good one, I guess. So, and I like to read. Stuff about cigars and study on them, so I need to pick up that Cigar Journal. I've heard a lot of great things about that. And I also listen to podcasts. I listen to Cigar Snob and the Cigar Authority. Those are two really good podcasts to listen to regularly, and you learn a lot from that as well. They actually smoke cigars on the podcast, and will tell you what they're experiencing. So that's a good podcast. Those are good two podcasts to listen to. So I suggest that you do that to learn more. And they're just fun to listen to. A lot of stuff to learn, from these guys that are on these podcasts. And my wife had bought me a journal. So every time I smoke cigars, I can save my bands in them. I can write down my experience with them, the taste notes, right down to the aromas you get from the smoke, and the taste notes, like I said. And I journal how long it takes me to smoke and what it pairs well with, and I give my rating on what I think. So that's a fun thing to do as well, and it kind of helps me keep record of what I've smoked over time, and I can go back and say, gosh, I want to find that cigar again and smoke it. It was really good, or I don't want to find that one again. It wasn't very good, So it kind of helps me remember the history of what I've smoked, so I can go back and maybe find those cigars again that I really enjoyed, or not go back and find cigars that really maybe I hated that just weren't very good. So, but which has been very seldom that I've had a cigar that I don't like. Majority of cigars I've had have been really, really good. So, and again, I experiment with a lot of different cigars, and taste, do a lot of pairing, different pairings with different cigars, trying to see what works for me really. So, and that's what it's all about. It's what works for you. There's no wrong or right way of really doing anything with cigars. But, you definitely want to watch how you cut and light your cigars, definitely, and where you keep them. You want to keep them in a humidor that's, with good humidification. And, I buy the Veda packs. So this is the 72 humidification that I keep most of all with my cigar humidors. It doesn't keep them too humidified, and it doesn't keep them at too low of a humidification as well. So, but that's the thing also to pass on to you if you get into cigars more and you start investing in them. you don't want to waste your investments. You want to keep them in a good good humidor, good humidification, so your wrappers don't, or your cigars don't get too dry or too wet. Either way, if they get too dry or too wet, they'll fall apart on you, and it'll make your smoking experiences not very good at all. So you really want to make sure you keep track of that as well, and keep track of your humidification every day. I check mine morning and night every day. Another thing that'll happen if you let your cigar get too humidified and too warm, um, you can get cigar beetles, and it's a beetle that lays eggs in your cigar, and then they spread into your other cigars. So you'll end up having all your cigars ruined. So you got to really, keep track of your investment and make sure everything's good every day, or else you will run into issues definitely. So anyway, I'm down to the last third. I'm going to stop this, take a break here, and then I'll come back and we'll continue to smoke this, or I'll continue to smoke this, and uh, let you know what I continue to think about it. And while you're watching this video, if you happen to have one of these and you haven't had it yet, now's the time to try it, and you can smoke it with me while you watch this. So, but I'm really enjoying hanging out with you, and I'll be right back to hang out with you a little more, and we'll see what else. What other topics come up to discuss here. So anyway, I will be back right with you. Okay, I'm back, and got my wrapper off, and yeah, it works really good if you wait to take that band off and you get kind of close to it, because as you see, I took the band off and I'm not having any tears or anything falling apart on my cigar. My cigar is still staying really nice, and yeah, because like I said, if you take your bands off while your cigar is cold before you start smoking it, you will have a really good chance of pulling off some of the wrapper, and it unraveling, and maybe even getting some cracks in it. Um, so definitely, I suggest definitely holding on uh, to that band on your cigar until you get down close to it. So when your cigar is warm, you can loosen it off or pull it off, and it'll loosen up really good for you. So, but I do want to say hi to my mom back in Torrington, Wyoming. She's always been a huge supporter of anything I do, and in the beginning, she wasn't too sure about me getting into cigars the way I do because she was worried about my health. But after myself educating her more about it and telling her more about it, she's been really good with it. So she's been a huge support with me smoking cigars. She knows it's been good for me to relax a little more. And I put in a lot of long hours with my work, and it's been a way for me to unwind and relax a little bit, and to just give myself a chance to meditate and think about my life, and just think about God or whatever it may be. I just um, appreciate everything God's given me. And He's given me a great wife, my old high school uh, classmate back in the old high school days that I always wanted to be with so bad. I just never had enough guts to ask her out. Talked to her in high school and was around her often, but we were in choir together, stuff like that. I was in marching band, and she was one of the cheerleaders, so saw her during the football games and everything, basketball games, whatever. But just never could bring myself to ask her out. I thought she was the prettiest girl in high school, and it's amazing how God works. All these years I thought about her, and didn't have had two marriages that weren't successful. But Marcy came to my life 2 years ago. I found her on Facebook, and we got together, and we've been inseparable since. We get along so well. Uh, Everything about her, she's just so generous and just so sweet. She's been a huge support to my cigar passion as well, which her and Jacen kind of got me back into doing this. So got me into it, and has been a huge support of it. So, and of course, they're responsible for the cigar lounge that you earlier saw in the video. So I got give them a lot of thanks for what they've done for me, her and Jacen. And Jason's just been a great son. Now my first son, he was over here last night, so we were down here, smoking together and enjoyed ourselves down here. And so this has been great for family and friends, to come down and hang out, for us to get together and talk, and because me and my friends and me and my son, my oldest son, we don't get to see each other very much, and so when we get together and get to hang out in a setting like this and smoke together and talk and catch up, it's very special. It's very special. So, and I'm hoping my brother will get back down here from Sheridan. My brother Grant, I hope he'll get down here soon from Sheridan so we can enjoy a cigar together again. As I've gotten down farther with the cigar, it is staying lit a lot better. I haven't had to relight it again. It's in the smoke, getting a lot of nice smoke from it, and still getting a lot of nice ash, a lot of white grayish ash, and the ash really stays together well. But I've been ashing it more just because I'm inside. If I was outside for some reason, I wouldn't be ashing it as much. I'd be letting the ash get a little longer on it. So, but anyway, I just enjoying this so much, hanging out with you guys. Thank you again. So, but we'll continue to smoke. I'll continue to smoke this. Maybe, well, I can say maybe you are smoking a cigar with me right now. So if you are, thank you. I hope you're having a great time smoking with me. And since I got Molly Cruz here, I don't know if you guys, some of you know that Mick Mars retired finally, and John Five has been his replacement. Of course, if you know who Rob Zombie is and even Marilyn Manson, John Five was their guitarist for quite a while over the years, and really great guitarist. And he's a huge fan of Striper as well, believe it or not. And he's obviously a Motley Crue fan, or else he would have joined Motley Crue. So, but anyway, he's a great guitarist, and I hope to, maybe see him eventually. I love Motley Crue still, and I think Vince Neil's always been a great lead singer for him. His voice isn't quite where it used to be, but he's still a good show. He still has good showmanship on stage, and so I do hope to see Motley Crue eventually. I didn't get to go see him on the stadium tour with Poison and Joan Jett and Def Leppard. I wanted to see it, but my schedule just really wouldn't allow me to go see it. So I'm hoping to finally catch Motley Crue again and see them with John Five. I'll definitely miss Mick Mars. I'll definitely miss him. I think he's a pretty underrated guitarist. I don't think people give him the recognition that they should. And he's a lot of what got, caused Motley Crue to have the sound they got. Of course, he was a big part of the songwriting as well. So I hope, Mick Mars is doing well. He's had a bone disease that's caused his back to be very stiff, and his body just won't move, like it used to. So I understand why he retired finally. For as long as he lasted with the condition he's been in, I'm very proud of him. I don't know of too many guitarists that would last as long as he has, with the condition he's had. So, and if you get a chance to catch Alice Cooper, catch him. He's got a really great band behind him. I saw him last summer as well, and over in Loveland, Colorado, and he's got such a great band behind him these days. I think he's better than ever. Himself, his voice, and his showmanship on stage. I think Alice Cooper is at his peak right now. I think he is just awesome. And I'm glad I finally got to see him. I was supposed to see him a couple of years ago or so with Tesla and Lita Ford, and that show got canceled. That tour got canceled. So I was really disappointed. Back in 2014, got to hang out with Lita Ford, and I was in Sheridan, Wyoming, where my brother lived, to go see it's called Rockin' the Railroad Festival. So I got to see Striper, of course. We got to go hang out with them. My brother finally got to meet them. He had always wanted to meet them, and so he finally got to meet them. We got to go backstage and hang out with Striper, and he got to see him and meet him. And Michael Sweet, he was always, he was just as genuine and down to earth like he always is, and took time to, talk to me, on a private basis. And I told my brother was with me, and he was like, "Yeah, bring him back with you, definitely. We want to meet him." So Michael Sweet, thank you always. Every time I get to see you and touch base with you, thank you for your hospitality and your friendship and everything. So, and I'm hoping to, see John Schlitt. He used to sing with a band called Uriah Heep back in the '70s, and then he ended up going to a Christian hard rock band called Petra, which was the first Christian hard rock band ever going onto the scene in the Christian music field or business field. And John Schlitt was always a great guy to touch base with and catch up with and talk with. And so I'm hoping to see him. But John Schlitt, I hope you're doing great out there too. So, anyway, so Lita Ford, I hope you're doing great out there. I hope to see you again eventually too. I really enjoyed my experience again to get to know you for a little bit and hang out with you. And I hope to see you again as well. Yeah, and saw Judas Priest last summer as well. Again, saw them, and Rob Halford. My gosh, his voice is incredible still, and the Judas Priest band is incredible as well. I definitely miss, I miss, the guys that had been with them, KK Downing, and oh gosh, I'm trying to think of the other guy that was with Judas Priest. Hopefully his name will come back to me, and I can't believe I forgot his name. Um, but got to see KK Downing with him once before he retired because of having, I think it's called dementia, is what he's got. Um, so I hope KK Downing is, uh, or not KK Downing, it's the other guitarist that was with him. KK Downing is still doing well, and he was with Judas Priest and got to play with them during, when they got inducted into the Hall of Fame this last year. Um, but gosh, I'll think of the other guitarist hopefully here that I think so highly of as well, and he's the one that's got dementia now, and I think it's dementia, but so hopefully his name will come back to me here in a minute. But you guys know who I'm probably talking about out there that is maybe a big Judas Priest fan. So hopefully he's doing well. But if you get a chance to see Judas Priest, go see him because Rob Halford's still killing it out there. His voice is just incredible. So anyway, but yeah, when you message me, tell me what cigars you like and where you like to smoke. If you got your own cigar lounge in your house, or if there's a cigar lounge you like to go to, let me know about it. Maybe if I'm in that area, I can check it out as well. If I'm ever in your area for some reason down the road, I don't get out of town much. I don't get to travel much. Um, I go to South Dakota every so often with my wife. We like to go to Deadwood, and we got married last September of last year, so we ended up going to Hill City and stayed the night in Hill City and went to Deadwood and different things. Her daughter lives in Rapid City, so we went and saw her daughter as well. And and South Dakota is such a beautiful place. We really like to go there and see South Dakota whenever we can get away. So, but have I've been able to go to the Deadwood Tobacco Company and kind of hang out there ever so often and get to know Bill, the owner of Deadwood Tobacco Company, and have gotten to experience some really good cigars at his place. And I'm hoping to get them soon at my store, which they're the Chasing the Dragon cigars. There's three different ones, and I can't remember the name of each of them right now for some reason, but I know they're starting to get a little more noticed. And if you get in touch with the Deadwood Tobacco Company, just ask them about the Chasing the Dragon cigars. There's three different ones, but they got kind of a fruity taste with some tea, like green tea notes and stuff like that. They're really good cigars. And actually, if you guys are looking for something to keep your extra cigar bands in, I came up with this. I saw something like this in a cigar lounge over in Cheyenne, Wyoming that I visited, and they had a big glass jar, and they had people that smoked in there put their cigar bands in there. But actually, I've got three of the bands from uh, the Chasing the Dragon cigars that I was telling you about. So anyway, so let me tell you the first one. So yeah, one's called the Midnight Oil. The other one's called the Anti, and then the other one that they got out is called Zero. And all three are really good, but my favorite one was the Midnight Oil cigar. So that was a really good one. I've smoked quite a few of those, and so they're really good. So I suggest that you definitely try those if you get a chance to. So put that back there. But yeah, so if you're looking for places to keep your cigar bands, if you want to keep those, which I suggest, they're kind of fun to look back on, and there are just so many pretty bands out there. It almost makes you not want to smoke certain cigars because of how pretty the bands are. But yeah, the Chasing the Dragon bands, they're really pretty, so I had to hold on to at least one of each of those. So they're really good cigars. I suggest you try them. I'm hoping to get those into my store here pretty soon. And I had something else I was going to discuss, but what I meant to bring up, I told you about how great Alice Cooper's band is. Um, and Nina Strauss, she's not with them now. She's got another project she's doing in the works with. But she left the Alice Cooper band, and they brought in Kane Roberts, which Kane was with Alice Cooper back in '86 during the Constrictor tour, and then he was on the Raise Your Fist and Yell tour, and that was in '87. So it'd been quite a while since he had played in Alice Cooper's band, but had always been kind of behind the scenes with the whole Alice Cooper band in a sense. Um, but so he's back with them, and so he was with them when I saw Alice Cooper this last summer, and and actually, it wasn't last summer; it was this last fall. It was in October when I saw Alice Cooper. But they did a big Halloween themed. I mean, they went all out on their stage show because of it being close to Halloween, and it was quite enjoyable to watch. I just went crazy during that concert. I can't believe I was finally getting to see Alice Cooper, but to see Kane Roberts as well. I mean, if you know who Kane Roberts is, you know how great of a guitarist he is. So. So I'm glad I got to finally see him. And then, lo and behold, Nina Strauss came out and she came out and did a surprise visit with the Alice Cooper band during School's Out, which was the very last song they did during that show. So I was glad I got to see her play a little bit and see her, on stage. So I always wanted to see her. Just a great guitarist as well. And there's not too many female guitarists that shreds the way she does. So she was amazing. So I would like to see her eventually too. Not sure what she's up to or what she's going to be doing, but hope to hear from that soon, what project she's working on. So. But anyway, I don't think there's going to be much changing with the cigar. I'm down in my last third, but taste notes are about the same. Everything's about the same on this cigar. So Anyway, I'll probably go ahead and end this for now. And I will look forward to seeing you guys next week again. And we'll do episode 3 next week, and I'll have a different cigar to review and smoke, and give you some more tips. And but anyway, God bless you guys, and thanks for tuning in with me today. I sure have enjoyed this, and I hope you guys will continue to follow me and watch my videos and hang out with me. And again, if you like this video, please hit like on it. Give me your comments, your feedback, and keep in touch with me. I'll keep in touch with you as well. But hope to make many new friends out there. And I'm here to be your friend as well, and to hang out with you and to get to know you. So, but anyway, God bless, guys, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.